newscasts, also available on the Spectrum News app.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Tammy Fields.
And I'm Greg Angel. Your top stories in 90 seconds.
Quite frankly, shock is not very far away from them at this point.
We begin with that ongoing breaking news. The driver of a pickup truck involved in today's bus crash that killed 8 and sent 40 others to the hospital. That driver of that pickup has now been arrested, charged with DUI manslaughter, multiple counts. Investigators are still working to figure out exactly how the crash happened. This is on State Road 40 in Marion County. Nearby residents say there's a horse farm pasture in the area. The road has been closed all day.
As we learn more about the victims, we now know they worked at Cannon Farms as part of Alvera Trucking Harvesting Corporation. Cannon Farms has a sign out front saying it is closed due to the tragedy out of respect for the losses and injured in the accident. A flower memorial has been set up at the farm. They're asking for prayers for the families and loved ones all involved in this tragic accident.
Another big story tonight, shift in the schedule for Boeing. Crews at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station now targeting next Tuesday, May 21st, for the first crewed Starliner launch. ULA team is replacing a pressure valve that caused a scrub. Now they're working on a small helium leak.
A lot of news to get to, but we also want to talk about the weather. Let's check in right now with certified meteorologist Brian Carrot.
Thank you, Tammy and Greg. A much quieter night ahead after a bumpy start to our day. Around lunchtime had some big storms, but expecting sunshine through the evening hours. Temperatures well into the 80s. Then I'm going to go with a partly cloudy sky. Now, we will get into some storms to kick things off on Wednesday, and a few storms could be strong to severe. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up in some sort of a watch for tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the afternoon into the 80s as we do break into some late day sunshine. Again, what can we expect? Strong storms around the first half of Wednesday. Highs down a notch, then back up and hot as we round out the week and head into the weekend. And we're ending this week on a much quieter note.
I've worked many fatalities in my career. And this is the death that you do not expect from your family members. Everybody that's standing right here and your viewers out here, this is the death that is a shock to you.
Well, tonight we are learning moments ago a driver of a pickup truck involved in this crash has now been arrested. 8 people were killed, at least 40 others injured on that bus in this crash in Marion County.
Florida Highway Patrol says the crash involved a bus carrying migrant farm workers and an older Ford pickup truck as well. It all happened on State Road 40 around 6:30 this morning. At this hour, this stretch of roadway is still closed as detectives try to figure out exactly what happened.
This is a live look, or a look now at the scene on the roadway earlier, and you can see the mass response here. 53 farm workers were reportedly on the bus heading to a nearby farm to work for the day. Marion County Sheriff Billy Wood says he believes everyone on the bus is in the U.S. legally.
We have team coverage tonight on this story out of Marion County. Our Maria Serrano is at Advent Health Hospital in Ocala tonight. It's where many of the crash victims are getting treatment. We begin first, though, with our Jeff Allen at the scene working to piece together the timeline and the cause of the crash. Jeff.
And the big update, and you mentioned it this afternoon, is that the driver of the pickup truck involved in this accident has been charged with DUI manslaughter. That driver, we're told, was arrested this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and step out of the way and let you get a closer look at that pickup truck involved in this. It's right behind me here on the side of the road, that tan pickup truck with some wrapping on kind of the left side of it there. We're told FHP says that pickup truck was headed eastbound here on State Road 40 when this crash happened about 6:30 this morning. The bus traveling westbound. The two collided, and of course, investigators now are working to find out everything that led up to this crash. Now, if you look off in the distance, off beyond that fence there, that is that bus involved with this. It is now upright. It was on its side after this crash. It crashed through the fence back there, and they are now have it upright. And eventually, of course, they're going to tow it away. And of course, investigators are still looking into all of this.
A devastating scene on a rural 2-lane road near Ocala where a crash sent a bus through a fence onto a horse farm on its side. Several of the migrant farm workers on that bus dead, dozens injured. It's a day that will change many families forever.
This is the death that is a shock to you, and it's going to be hard on them, and rightfully so, because they just lost a loved one.
The sheriff says this time of year it's not uncommon to have large numbers of migrant workers in Marion County.
Everything that I have been told at this point, they all have what they need to be here. There's no reason for me to be involved with these individuals. They're hard-working individuals, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them being here.
Investigators say it could be 6 months before they can determine what exactly caused this crash. A woman who lives nearby says she's been in an accident herself on State Road 40. She says it's a dangerous stretch of roadway.
Not uncommon to have this road closed down because of fatalities, a lot of motorcyclists, a lot of single, fatalities, but not of this magnitude. 8 people in one morning is definitely a record, it's definitely sad.
The sheriff says population growth is creating traffic problems.
About the growth that's happening here in the state, here in Marion County, the amount of traffic is a problem. We are always out here. We're constantly with FHP doing everything we can to monitor traffic and hopefully curb and prevent stuff like this.
Now, Florida Highway Patrol says, unfortunately, due to the severity of many of the injuries of those that were injured in this bus crash, the death toll on this, which now stands at 8, could unfortunately rise. Now, those patients were taken to 2 different hospitals here in the area. Our Maria Serrano continues our team coverage now. She is outside of one of those hospitals where, Maria, what are you hearing about how those patients are doing?
Jeff, we know that 16 of those people were transported here to Advent Health Ocala. Now, HCA Florida Healthcare also treating several more patients. Bilingual hospital chaplains have already met with some patients. They're calling this a difficult situation, saying that the whole hospital has been touched by this incident. Just take a look at some video we shot in this hospital earlier. Because of a shortage of Spanish-speaking chaplains, they were asked to provide spiritual and emotional support to patients and also family members, even speaking on the phone with some families. Hospital officials saying patients who chaplains spoke with were in good spirits. Here's the latest update. Advent Health treating 16 patients overall. 2 of those patients transferred to other facilities. The other 14 are in the process of being discharged. 2 HCA Florida healthcare facilities in Ocala are also currently treating patients who sustained injuries, including HCA Florida Ocala Hospital, with 7 in critical condition, and 2 others. We're still working to get an update on their conditions. HCA Florida West Marion Hospital treating 1 patient who is said to be stable, but their exact condition is unknown.
Have been, as you can imagine, quite shocked, and there have been tears, but there have also been manifestations of relief, and the patients have been very happy to be in communication with their loved ones. You might imagine that being far away, wherever they are, is difficult.
My heart goes out to them. All right, I've worked many fatalities in my career, and this is the death that you do not expect from your family members. My heart pleads for them. My heart goes out to them.
Sheriff Billy Wood saying they will have answers to families to try to give them closure on why this crash happened. I'm live tonight in Ocala. Maria Serrano, Spectrum News.
Maria and Jeff, thank you so much. Well, we are working around the clock to stay on top of all of the updates in this investigation. For more on the timeline of this crash and an update on the patient's conditions, head to our website at mynews13.com or the Spectrum News app.
Assessing what needs to be done to alleviate flooding.
The timeline of the multi-million-dollar project in Sanford and where exactly the concerns lie when it comes to that. Also keep you updated on the weather. Some rainy weather earlier today. just have a love of history.